Have you ever noticed how you say yes, even when every part of you is begging you to say no, and you smile while your stomach tightens and you agree, while your chest feels heavy and a part of you wonders why your needs always seem to come last? There is something strange about the way you shrink yourself to keep the peace, the way you swallow your truth to avoid disappointing someone else, the way your voice goes silent while your mind screams, and the question lingers: why does protecting others feel safer than protecting yourself? You walk through life carrying invisible tension, always scanning, always sensing what people want from you, adjusting, softening, managing their emotions before your own, and you wonder if anyone notices how much it costs you. You apologize when you didn't do anything wrong, you overthink your tone, your wording, your presence, and you feel responsible for the feelings of everyone around you, as if your existence must never inconvenience anyone. You feel guilty for resting, guilty for having boundaries, guilty for needing space, guilty for being human, and the guilt wraps itself around your decisions until your yes and no longer belong to you. But here's the thing. This isn't weakness, and it isn't kindness in its purest form, it's survival. Somewhere in your past, approval was safety, harmony was protection, and being easy to love was the only way to stay close. And the child you once were learned to earn connection instead of simply receiving it. You became the peacekeeper, the caretaker, the emotional buffer, the one who absorbs tension so others don't have to feel it. And now you carry that pattern into adulthood without realizing it. And this is where it gets interesting, because people-pleasing isn't about generosity, it's about fear. Fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of being seen as too much, fear of being abandoned for having needs, and so you trade authenticity for acceptance without realizing the price. You never learned that saying no doesn't make you unlovable, that boundaries don't break relationships, that your needs don't make you a burden, and now every decision feels like a test of whether you're allowed to exist comfortably. You stay quiet to avoid arguments, you agree to avoid discomfort, you help even when you're exhausted, and you confuse self-erasing with being a good person. But here's the truth. Every time you betray your own needs, resentment grows quietly inside you, and that resentment becomes distance, and that distance becomes numbness, and eventually you don't even know what you want anymore. You wake up one day and realize you've built a life that fits everyone, but you a schedule that drains you. Relationships that lean on you but never hold you, and an identity shaped by being what others needed instead of who you are. And then comes the loneliness, the strange loneliness that happens even when you're surrounded by people, because no one truly knows you, not because they refuse to, but because you never let them. You believe love must be earned, affection must be maintained, and belonging must be paid for with compliance. And you wonder why intimacy feels thin, why connection feels unstable, why you feel replaceable even to people who care. You learn to read the room before you learn to feel your feelings, to anticipate expectations before you understood your own desires, and now you confuse peace with silence and harmony with self-abandonment. But it doesn't have to stay this way. You can relearn your voice, you can reclaim your boundaries, you can sit with the discomfort that comes with choosing yourself, and slowly you begin to feel the difference between kindness and sacrifice, between love and approval, between connection and compliance. You start saying small no's, the ones that tremble in your throat, and you discover the world doesn't collapse, people don't disappear, and the ones who value you begin to respect you more, not less. You begin to notice that your worth isn't measured by your usefulness, that your value doesn't depend on your compliance, that the people who truly belong in your life can handle your honesty, your needs, your humanness. And somewhere inside, that younger version of you, the one who learned to stay small to stay safe, finally exhales. You realize that you don't need to be easy to love to be worthy of love, that relationships don't crumble when you show up fully, that saying no is not a rejection, it's an act of self-respect. You learn that boundaries create deeper connection, not less, because they allow you to show up willingly instead of resentfully. You learn that love shouldn't require self-erasure, that belonging shouldn't feel like performance, that your needs matter simply because you exist. And slowly, gently, courage replaces guilt. You begin to choose yourself without apologizing. You begin to speak without shrinking. You begin to trust that the people who stay are the ones who see you, not the mask you learn to wear. And in that moment, the world feels different, not because it changed, but because you did.